Great pleasure right now to welcome to our show today a woman you've all seen on television and nightclubs around the country. She's a singer, actress, and now has branched out into ministry. We'll find out about that. Welcome Kaye Stevens to our show today. How are you, Kaye?
Hi. Good to talk to you, Doug.
It's great to have a chance to talk to you. I know we'll get to this a little bit later, but you make your home not too far away from us in Sarasota, in the state of Florida. So good to have you in the state with us too.
Yes, I'm in Ocala. I have a house in Ocala. I still live in LA, of course, but I keep a home here as well because I just love Florida. I think Florida's the greatest state. California, has they got snow, they got desert, they got the beaches and whatever, but there's just something about Florida that I've always loved and always been proud to be a resident here, and I'm enjoying it so much. You were talking about Bob Hope, and the fact that I traveled with him. I did his Bob Hope show. I did not only his television shows, but I traveled with him to his golf tournaments and all. And I went to Vietnam with him. And recently, I wrote a show called Bob Hope and Me. And thanks for the memories, of course. It's a tribute to all veterans. And the veterans just they just love to come and see the show because it's songs, stories, and videos. And in the videos, I have the big screen, of course, hanging in, and I have actual videos of my performing with Bob Hope. Mm. And the vets in the audience really love it because some of them, they got to see Bob. There were like 15,000, 20,000 at a time. So when they see Bob that close up on a screen, it really brings back fond memories. And it's one of the best things I've ever done. And I tell stories. For example, when I went to Vietnam in 1965 with him, and, we traveled by helicopter most of the time. And he always used to like to take me with him to the field hospitals in Baby Huey's, a small helicopter, just 2-3 people. So he said, I'm going to take you to the hospital with me. Oh, okay. So just the two of us got in this helicopter, and the guy that was the pilot, his name was Cherokee. He was a Cherokee Indian. And so I went to get in the chopper, and he said, "Oh, wait, Miss Stevens." He took off his flak jacket for me to sit in the flak jacket. Oh, okay. So I sat in the flak jacket. Bob was on my right, and of course the pilot was in front of me. So we take off, and we're flying over this jungle, and it is so lush, and it is so beautiful. I can't tell you. And so I looked down, and I saw all these barbecues, and I turned to Bob, and I said, "Oh, Bob, look here, look at these people. They like to eat outdoors. They're all barbecuing. Look at this." And then Cherokee turns around and says, "No, Miss Stevens, that's not barbecuing." I said, "They're not?" He said, "No." He said, "They're shooting at us. That's why you're sitting on my flak jacket." So I turned to Bob to my right, and I punched him in the arm, and I said, Bob, they're shooting at us. They're shooting at us." And he was writing his Christmas cards. And he leans over, and he says, "Is this 4561 or 6541 Main Street?" I said, "Bob, didn't you hear me? They're shooting at us. Look at all that, all those puffs of smoke. They're shooting at us." And he said, "Well, of course they're shooting at us. We're prime targets." Now, is this Oh, Lord, he was.
You seem to be so unflappable when he told the stories about what happened. I mean, there was great calmness in a firestorm, I guess, right?
Yeah, just unbelievable. And then, you don't realize the danger you're in. You don't realize. I found out later, of course, that, the powers that be tried to we were doing 2 shows a day. Hello? 2 shows and 3 shows a day. Now, come on. 1,500 miles a day. Now, we got the Les Brown Band. We've got all the equipment. We've got the trombones, the saxes, all the stuff, and the music, and the bandstands and all that stuff. And 3 times they would load up the helicopters and fly us into these god-awful places, set up, do the show, be on the run, go again. And this this one. You know, I wore my Bob Mackie dresses, which doesn't mean much to you, but if you have female listeners, they understand that. But Bob Mackie dresses, he makes them all these little tiny bugle beads, they're called. They're sewn very tightly together, quite beautiful. But they don't do well in the jungle.
No.
So anyway, we were just, you know, we were just doing one show after another. It gets to be the monsoon season over there, and it's really raining. And we got onto the stage, and there were Marines, God love them. They were sitting out there 3-4 hours in their ponchos in this driving monsoon, you know, waiting for us, and with their helmets and their guns, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, I got on stage and introduced me. I come out on the stage, and I'll never forget it. It was really exciting because I went out there and it was pouring down rain, and my song was this one. It was, on a wonderful day like today, I defy any cloud to appear in the sky, dare any raindrop to drop in my eye on a wonderful day like today. Meanwhile, the rain is pouring. The rain is pouring. My eyelashes came off, and my I know these heavy bugle beaded dresses. It was just amazing.
What is that like? I mean, it's obviously the audience is really appreciating you coming there, but that must have been special as a performer to be able to do those kind of shows, right?
Well, especially during the monsoon season, because I get out there, you know, and of course the rain was very, very heavy, and my dress was very heavy, and the padding in my dress was very heavy to hold up the dress. So I'd be staying there, my boobs would be dropping, of course the eyelashes would come off. And this one time, it was just amazing. I got out there, and all of a sudden, I'm singing this song, and somebody screams from the corner, "Incoming," which is a bad thing. Incoming, and all these guys got up and started to run. I said, nobody leaves till I finish my song. What an idiot I am. Because you just never had an idea. You didn't have a clue how dangerous it was. You just never knew. And Bob, on that 1965 tour, he fell on a slippery stage. He slid down the stage, and he very badly injured his leg, his ankle actually, but his whole leg blew up. And the one leg was twice the size of the other, and it was all black and blue. And he had it taped, you know, and he went out there with his golf club, and he used his golf club as a crutch, and he never, ever let on what happened. Wow. Never let on. I mean, this guy, if he had been born in this country, he would have been president, and a good one, too. Everybody loved him. So that's why the show that I've been doing is so powerful, because people really love him. And when I tell, you know, stories like the last story, I told you many stories, but when I tell people stories like that, they love to hear the stories about him. He's just so special.